Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So I'm having to record this the second time because the first time my video got completely corrupted, so this might be a day late when I get it out. But needless to say, I'm super excited for this deck. This is my ShineGreymon build. If you've been following the channel for any length of time, you'll know that I'm super excited to play this. I was really excited to play it in 1.0. It was on the cover art for the packs, and then it just didn't happen. So I was really disappointed, but now it's finally coming. So let's get into this. Alright, so right off the bat, don't worry about the 52 out of 50 cards. There's a reason for that. I added in a couple at the end just to kind of show you some different options that you can go into. So don't worry about that. I'll explain it when we get to the end. So just starting right off at our eggs here, we got the Omnimon, and this is the inheritable is on your opponent's turn. While this Digimon is suspended, all of your security Digimon get plus 1000 DP. So to explain this, one of Yellow's mini strategies that you can do is beefing up your security. You make all your security Digimon really high DP with stuff like the Tamer card TK that gives all security Digimon in your security plus 2000 DP. So just in combination with this, it just makes them like overly beefy really fast, and after they attack into it, you play other cards that recover your security, so you get to bump those numbers back up. As they deplete, you just put more back up. So that's the whole strategy kind of behind this, is that in a combination with the ShineGreymon, which we'll get into. If you don't know what ShineGreymon does, you're a little behind, but I'll catch you up, don't worry. It's all about, you get to, I'll go ahead and explain it now so the rest of the cards make sense. When you Digivolve into it, it's a level 6. For every Tamer that you have on the field, you get to subtract 4000 DP from an opponent's Digimon. And that can be applied in multiple. So if you have 2 Tamers on field, you can do that 4000 twice to a single one, or 3 times, depending on how many Tamers you have, to lower their DP. If their DP ever hits 0, they're destroyed. So if they have a 7000 Greymon on field, you can, put 4000 into it, and that's 8000, puts it down to 0, destroys it. And if you have a whole bunch of Tamers on field, you see where this is going? You can just wipe the whole field. So that's the whole strategy in this, is you're trying to get as many Tamers on field as possible, and then drop that ShineGreymon, clear their whole field, and then you just start pushing for game right after that. Alright, so now that we explained like the concept of the deck, let's get back going. I did add in a 5th egg. I think it's really important because the eggs aren't really necessarily facilitating any kind of combo with the deck, but being able to just continuously Digivolve for free on top of them with a 0-cost rookie is just draw power. And draw power is super important in this deck because it's kind of slow, so we really got to get into those Tamers as fast as possible. Alright, speaking of getting into Tamers as fast as possible, both of these cards are going to help facilitate getting those Tamers. The Omnimon here, the inheritable, is if you have 3 or more yellow Tamers in play, which that's kind of the goal here, we're trying to get as many Tamers in play as possible, so getting 3 is you can do pretty quickly. When you attack, you draw 1 card. So we're just facilitating some draw power here. Pretty good card for this deck, okay? Next is Patamon, who's our main MVP for finding those Tamers. On play, 3 cost on play, that's pretty standard for a rookie. Reveal 4 cards from the top of your deck, add all yellow Tamer cards among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards on the bottom of the deck in any order. So if you just have 4 Tamers, that's 4 cards you get to add to hand instantly. As well as, what's nice about this is you get to look at all the top 4 cards. You get to remove all the Tamers, because you don't necessarily want to just, on your start of your turn, draw into a Tamer. You kind of want to draw into more useful Digimon to Digivolve into. So just being able to pull the Tamer straight to hand and go past that is great. And it just kind of opens the deck up to being able to draw into other things like, your level 5s and 6s. You really need that ShineGreymon. So that's what's great about this Patamon, is he just clears the Tamers out of the way. Also, if there's no Tamers there, then that just clears those 4 cards out of your way, so that way you can get into more Tamers, especially if you don't have any. You don't have, maybe you got 2 Tamers and you're trying to get to that 3rd one, then go ahead and play that Patamon. If there's no Tamers there in that top 4, you cleared 4 cards, 4 draws out of the way, so you can get into that 3rd Tamer extra fast. Next up, we do have the Patamon for the starter deck. This is inheritable is your turn, once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon is deleted by dropping to 0 DP, gain 1 memory. So, for the most part, we're not going to be able to trigger this aside from ShineGreymon, but what I like about it is the fact that it is once per turn, but if you have multiples of these Patamons on field, when that goes off, you get 1 for each inheritable Patamon that you have, which is really, really good. Especially because ShineGreymon is a 4 Digivolve cost card, so the chances of you staying on your turn after you nuke your whole opponent's field is kind of slim. But if you have a Patamon on field, then you kind of help make sure that it stays your turn. So you go 4 over and then you pull it back. However many Patamons you have a better chance of staying on your turn. I did go ahead and throw in 2 Salamons here, just because it's a 0 cost. But it's that 2 cost play, right, that we really, really like in most decks. If you're trying to turbo into anything big, then it's important that you kind of have these 2 cost Digimon. Most decks like to play, 4 to 6 copies, but I felt like the rookies that we had in here were just super important for the combo kind of scenario that we're trying to pull off here. So it's a little less important to just have that 2 play. I do have another rookie that I'll show right now that I had that you could put in there, and that was Labramon. The problem I had with Labramon, that I know other people like it, but your turn, the inheritable, is your turn when an opponent's Digimon is deleted by dropping to 0 DP, trigger, draw 1. The problem is we're only ever doing this when you're putting ShineGreymon onto the field. So the thought is, once you have ShineGreymon on field, if you've Digivolved into it, you have enough Tamers on field. You have your level 6 on field. You have everything you need. Is drawing really that important? I don't think so. I don't think it's as important as I think the Patamon is way better. The Patamon getting that free memory to keep it on your turn after you play that is way more important than that Labramon draw power. Same thing. I could put it here in place of the Salamon, but I just thought it's good to have, at least a couple 2-play cost over that Labramon. If you want to play the Labramon that bad, you could drop the Salamon and put in the Labramon. Next up, we're going to go into our champions here. These are our level 4s. 4 blockers, super standard. Pretty much most decks play 3 to 4 blockers. You want to draw into these. It keeps your opponent's rookies from just getting free hits into security, okay? Because they don't want to, because you'll lose 1 rookie guaranteed to a blocker, so then you're going to need another one to go in. It helps maintain board state for yourself. I did have the 1 cost evolution in here. I don't like a lot of the level 4s for yellows. Their level 5s are amazing. The level 4s are a little lackluster. Usually for me, it's the opposite, where I really like the level 4s and I don't like the level 5s for most other colors. But for this, it really works out that the level 4s, we have this 1 cost evolution, because it just allows us to get past this level 4 hurdle and into our level 5s. I did go ahead and throw in 3 more level 4s. I've got the champions at 11. Feels really good. I've played 11 champions in red and blue, and just when you're trying to get into those higher numbers, it works out fine. It's not a big deal. You don't really need that last copy, that 12th one. So I just put in the Angemons here. When attacking, if you have 4 more security, gain 1 memory. Just a little bit of memory game is always nice. You can't really go wrong with this strategy. And with as much recovery as this deck has, because it's 4 or more. If it was more than 4, I wouldn't do it. But you have so many cards that say, if you have, like this Angemon, when you have 3 security or less, you get to recover. So if you play this card right at 3, then you'll go up into 4, which then makes the Angemon live. So I just thought it kind of worked with the deck. It's a flex spot. Ultimately, if there's another level 4 you would rather play over the Angemon, go for it. I don't really have any alternatives I can recommend. I didn't really like anything else that the Yellow has to offer for level 4s. Now, level 5s, on the other hand, there's some really, really good ones, and then there's just some good ones. So, there are lots to choose from for the level 5s. But I went with the Angemon. So, when Digivolving, when you have 3 security or less, trigger recovery 1. This is amazing. This is amazing. 3 cost evolution. It was either this, or you could play over one of these 2. There was the Magna Angemon, but that's a hard play of 7. to get Recovery 1, whereas this is just that Digivolve, because you don't really, once these cards come down, except for like the blocker, once these guys come down, you just Digivolve on top of them. They don't need to stay. You don't need these champions on field to do anything else. You don't need your rookies on field to do anything else. Once they're there, they're there. You want those inheritables anyway, so you're going to want to Digivolve on top of them. You don't want to necessarily play a Magnet Angemon hard play. Next up, we've got the ShineGreymon, which works great for the ShineGreymon. This is like, I mean, literally his evolution before the ShineGreymon. So it really makes sense that they combo well together. And this one's, when Digivolving, you may play one yellow Tamer card from your hand without paying its memory cost. Any on-play effects on the Tamer played with this effect don't activate. That's a bit of a drawback for a single one. Our most expensive one, our 4 cost, naturally. We kind of like that on-play effect, which we'll cover in a second. But either way, especially if you already have one on field, then maybe you're not so worried about it. You're just trying to get Tamers on field as much as possible. He's a 3-cost evolution, which 7 of the 11 Tamers that I have in the deck, you know, he is either on par or better memory costed than they are. So the only one you lose out on a little bit is the TK, that's a 2-cost. But even then, you get a higher Digimon on field, so it's why not play it. It's a great card for sure. Also, it has an inheritable. Your turn, while you have 3 or more yellow Tamers in play, which you should. If you're dumping ShineGreymon on field, you should have 3 or more Tamers on field. Unless you're just super desperate, you should have at least 3 Tamers by the time you go to ShineGreymon. While you have 3 or more yellow Tamers in play, this Digimon gains security attack +1. So the idea again is you go ShineGreymon on top of this guy, nuke the field, and hopefully you can keep it on your turn, so that way you can go into attacking with your ShineGreymon and trigger the security attack +1. So at this point, now that ShineGreymon's on the field, now you just start working through their security as fast as you can before they can build up into another board. If they try to build up again, then hopefully you can build up into another ShineGreymon. We're playing 4 copies of ShineGreymon, so you can get multiple uses out of this card. Alright, so now that we're here, let's talk about him. So we covered the first part. When Digivolving, suspend all of your Tamers. For each Tamer you suspend this way, activate the following effect. One of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4,000 DP on the turn. For the turn. Okay? So we covered that. It basically just machine gun downs the whole enemy field. You know, just 4,000 bullets just flying everywhere. As well as, which this is really nice, this is what allows this card, I think, to compete with other decks, is your turn, this Digimon gets plus 1,000 DP for each Tamer you have in play. 3 Tamers put you at 14. That gets you over every level 6 in the game. That gets you over one level 7, the Millenniummon, who's only 13,000 DP. The only thing it doesn't get you over is Omnimon. However, just a few more, I mean, 5 Tamers in total get you over it. 4 Tamers get you to match an Omnimon. 5, you can run over an Omnimon, and that's really nice. Being able to just have an in-card ability that gets you enough DP just to run it over. If you don't just mow it down with his ability, that's awesome. So, love ShineGreymon. I think it's a super neat card. There's nothing else like this in the game. It's very unique, feels very, very good to get a big ShineGreymon effect off. So cannot wait to drop this in person in a game. Next up, we've got our Tamers here. I've got the TK. This is the 2 cost from the starter deck. And on your opponent's turn, all your security Digimon get plus 2,000 DP. So you get a couple of these on field, and instantly all of your Digimon basically are unbeatable. Unless they're playing jamming, which it could happen, you're going to be able to destroy anything that attacks into your security. So especially if by some miracle by the end of the game you get all 4 TKs on field, that's plus 8,000. So you combine that with any of your like 3,000 rookies, and almost all megas and below are dying when they attack into security. Now that definitely is killing all ultimates and below. Ultimates and champions are dying when they're attacking into your security. And that's just great. And that's only if you have a rookie. If you have anything higher than a rookie, that just more guarantees that you're going to be able to take out anything that comes their way, for sure. All right, next we've got the Kari here, and the Kari is the play cost of 3, so not too bad there, not as much as this 4 cost we're about to get into. But at the start of your turn, if you have 3 or fewer security cards, gain 1 memory. So then this isn't like limited. So if you have multiple Karis on field, it's not they activate one at a time. No, they all activate at the same time, which is really, really great. Because if you have, 3 security and they pass it to your turn with 2 memory, and you've got 3 of these Karis on field, you go all the way up to 5 instantly. So that is super awesome. And so the more you have on field, the better. You're not limiting yourself by having multiple copies. Which is nice about the TK and the Kari is the fact that they stack, and that's so great. You can have so many of these and it doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel like you're wasting space. Unfortunately, speaking of wasting space, we're going to go into the TK here. This is the 4 cost one. I'm only running it a 3 of because of his effects, and they are kind of wasted in certain scenarios. At the start of your turn, if you have 2 memory or less, set your memory to 3. So this is your memory fixer. So if they ever try to memory choke you at 1 or 2, you instantly go up to 3. Also, in combination with Kari, you trigger TK's effect first, right? So you'll go up to 3, and then the Karis will activate. So, you'll go up to 4 to 7, depending on how many Karis you have. If you start your turn every turn with 7 memory, how awesome would that be? Like, that is nuts. That'll get you into a ShineGreymon real quick. So that's great. Also, he has an on-play effect that look at your security stack, then reveal 1 card in it and add it to your hand. If it was a yellow, recovery +1. So you get a look at all your security cards, take the one that you don't want your opponent hitting into. Say it's like the lowest rookie or something, or say it's something you need. Like, I need to play a ShineGreymon right now. Look at my security. Oh, look, I have a ShineGreymon in security. I'll just take that and put another card in from the deck, shuffle it up, boom. Ready to go. Take anything you want, awesome. Take anything like another Tamer, like say you got this TK in there, right? It's like, well, I don't want to waste that. I'll take that out and have a chance of putting a Digimon in place of this TK, so they have a chance of running into my Digimon. That's even better, right? And also in security, when they hit this in security, any of these, they go right into play without paying their memory cost. That's the best way to trigger this TK, is hitting it in security and letting it go. Unfortunately, it takes away from the combo of the TKs wanting them to hit Digimon. However, if you don't have a bunch of TKs on field, then hitting this TK in security is even better, because you're going to trigger his on-play effect, no memory cost. Great combo. The only thing that sucks about this one is when you combo it with the Rise Greymon, you don't get that on-play effect. But you get over the fact that you don't have to play a 4 cost for one single Tamer. So that's a trade-off. Do what you need. What really kind of depends on the moment that you're in. All right, that's 48 cards right there. The next cards I want to talk about, these are cards that I'm going to recommend that you play at a 2 of. So reason I say at a 2 of is because at a 2 of, you have a good chance in every game drawing it 1 time. Theoretically, you'll draw it once every game, or roughly twice per match at a 2 of. And so this first card I want to go over is Glorious Burst. This is essentially their destruction. Now 9 is a lot, okay? I mean, you're essentially paying 1 more than a Gaia Force to activate this card to almost do the same thing. However, one of your opponent's Digimon gets 12,000 DP for the turn. If it's anything over that, if it's a level 7, you're not going to be able to take it down with just this 1 card. And that feels bad. Playing a 9 cost, not to be able to guarantee a destruction of like an Omnimon, brutal. However, what makes this so much better is reduce the memory cost of this card in your hand by 1 for each yellow Tamer in play. Instantly better. You're going to want to have, Tamers on field as much as possible. So being able to reduce the cost of this to 2 Tamers on field, that's easy. 2 Tamers on field. You're going to have that in like a couple turns, right? So not difficult to pull off at all. And boom, you're down to a Kakaida's Breath level, and you're going to get a destruction. Awesome. You get this mid-game when you've got, 5, 6, 7 Tamers on field. You're looking at, playing 4 cost for destruction of any mega or below. That's amazing. you have a chance of playing this card for free. You get this like very, very late game when you have a whole bunch of Tamers on field. We're playing 11 Tamers here. Memory cost of 9. You only need 9 Tamers on field. I know that's a lot. That is a lot. 9 Tamers on field is a lot. But you have a chance of making this card 0 cost to destroy basically anything you want. How amazing is that? That is a phenomenal, phenomenal destruction card. It does cap out at the 12,000 though, so any Omnimons or Millenniummons, you're not touching it. However, it does lower it enough to really put it in easy grabbing range for your ShineGreymon to finish off, okay? You play this on an Omni, leaves them at 3,000 DP. ShineGreymon, a single bullet from ShineGreymon kills that Omni right after this. So, just something to think about. Definitely leaning towards 2 of this one. In my own build, it just really depends on the play style of how things go. The next one, you only got the 4 level 6s in the deck right now. That'll change. The deck changes in set 4 when we get to that point, but we got a while. We got till May before that happens. You know, if there's no delays like we have had. So yeah, we'll get, you know, other stuff like the Yellow War Greymon, things like that. But until then, an option you can look at to having another level 6 in case you don't want to play that ShineGreymon yet. You know, you're just waiting and waiting, and you don't have enough Tamers, or they don't have enough to warrant dropping a ShineGreymon. You could drop this Cherubimon instead for a level 6. And what it does is when attacking, if you have 3 or fewer security cards, place 1 yellow Digimon card from your trash on top of your security face down. So this is so much better than recovery because you get to pick anything, any Digimon in your trash, right? You know, a rookie or something big, you know, a level 5 or level 4, and you get to put it on top. So that's the very next card they're going to be hitting. So they know, you know, it's like, okay, well, I don't want to attack with my Omnimon because, you know, it's going to die to this, you know, 20,000 DP, whatever, because of all those TKs on field. And you get to apply this every turn. So every time you attack, you get to just put it right back, assuming you have 3 security or less. So great card for just keeping you in the game, keeping your strategy going. Really cool card. 3 evolution cost, not a big deal. 11,000 DP is pretty solid. You know, I mean, 12 would be better, but that's pretty much reserved for just vanillas currently. Just another option that you can play in for a 2 of. Next up, this card is mostly just to really, I would say, for locals only. If you have a big like rookie rush issue with your locals, then I would drop in 2 lightning paws over the other ones, just because it's a 3 cost and you up to 3 of your opponent's Digimon with 3 Digimon, level 3 Digimon, get minus 4,000 DP for the turn. You essentially just delete 3 rookies instantly. So say you've got your blocker on field and they're just building up these rookies because they want to attack when they're going to get a lot of security checks off. So they're going to build up their rookies a little bit. And then so they're like, okay, I've got 4 rookies. Next turn I'm just going to push, and with these 4 rookies, see what happens. I'll lose 1 to the blocker, but then the other 3 will get through. But then you just play a lightning paw, clear up those guys, and that's it. You know, they're back to square one. It'd only cost you 3 memory to take out essentially 9 memory worth of stuff of theirs, or multiple turns of raising and hatching and stuff like that, and you just set them back so far, which is great for dealing with Rookie Rush. Way better playing this than Volcanic Dramon. I don't know how many times Volcanic Dramon barely gets me like 2 Digimon when I drop it for 11. This is just a great alternative to that for dealing with Rookie Rush. And then Labramon we already went over as a option to swap in for like that Salamon that I showed. And that's pretty much the deck. I think it's going to be super fun. It all works so cohesively. It all works so well together. You just can't deny it. They combo so perfectly, keeping yourself alive with all this recovery while you build up your Tamers. Because if you're just focusing on playing Tamers as fast as possible, that just gives them room to just run over all your security and punch for game before you can even get your ShineGreymon play off. So I think it's important to have a little bit of both, the recovery with the TKs, amping up all your security Digimon, having that strategy in coinciding with the ShineGreymon strategy of building up a bunch of Tamers in general and nuking the field. that's it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. If you guys have any issues with this, let me know in the comments. I love to see your point of view. You know, if you change my mind, I'll go in and put a note and edit it, okay? So let me know what you guys think. I'm super excited to play this deck. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and comment, as well as subscribe if you haven't already. If you enjoy this type of content, I try to put it out as much as possible, so definitely subscribe. Also, if you really enjoyed the content, check out my Patreon. I have a link in the description below for it. You can get access to my Discord server, as well as if you're a Dragon Village M fan, account takeovers where I help you out with your account. If you're a Digimon fan, I've got monthly giveaway, well, not even giveaways, I've got monthly merch that's specific to Patreon, stuff like memory counters, custom made. This is the baby form of Vmon here. There's going to be more in the works also. So lots of memory counters, all kinds of awesome Digimon merch. So definitely check out that tier. And if you're just all out crazy, there's other tiers if you're that dedicated. As well as check out my Teespring. I've got awesome merch there. You know, official Battle Ready Ink merch. Awesome phone cases for you Digimon fans out there. They've got them for iPhones as well as Samsungs. So they are super sweet. If you've seen the last Digimon movie, that's where these are from. I had a friend of mine custom make these so that way they fit perfectly on these phone cases. They look super good. So definitely check those out. But at the end of the day, if you can't do any of that, just like I said, like the video. That helps a ton. And subscribe. It doesn't hurt, but it helps me. So that's what's the real benefit. And as always, I'll see you next time.